good day. First of all, in today's transmission, we want to underline that we are not gods. We are not superior than you. We are not something that governs you, and we are not someone that you should, shall, or will apologize to for anything. You are an equal to us. You are a reflection of creation and Creator itself as much as we are. So we are here to help you, and we are joyful about the co-creation of our communications in any kind, any time, any circumstances. When you wish, will, want to communicate with us, we are here and we will be. We are not judges and will not control how much, when, or how things are going to happen. I understand you have your questions today. Please ask whatever you want.
First of all, I want to say hello and thank you for being here once again, helping us, guiding us through these special times for our humanity. And I would like
We
to
feel
start.
this. You are not in need to explain yourself. We want to tell you that.
Okay.
You are not in need to explain that you are something or you are not something. That you are grateful, that you are blissful, that you wish you know that you don't. We feel that, we know it. We wouldn't be here if you did not have the capacity and also the encouragement and also the wish to communicate with us, the deep wish to communicate and get all this information. Not only you, all of humanity. You don't have to explain yourself.
Okay. So I'm starting with my questions. Why this contact is needed? Why should we all get in contact and seek help from other races?
You don't have anything that you should do, but there are things that are of great help to your way of thinking and understanding. The vibration that you vibrate in when you do certain types of practices like channeling, you are entering a different vibrational state for your own mind. This is not something usual for you. And so you align your frequencies with different frequencies, with different densities, and that way you elevate your own way of thinking to a certain level, to a different point of view. You start acknowledging that you are not only the captured in your body human being that you are, but you start acknowledging that you are more than that, and not only more but all of it. And as often as you do that, you create this habit in your mind that you can expand and suspend the expansion whatever, whenever and however you want. You can collapse your mind to the point that you were, like, say, when you were 15 years old, And you can start thinking like this boy who did not have any information about the world. But at the same time, you could at any time open up and elevate your mind to new possibilities, to new dimensions, and to new points of view, different and more expansive points of view. As much as you practice these channelings, these meditations, these enterings in different realms, these travelings that you can do with your mind through different planets and stuff, when you do it more, you understand that you can do it however and whenever you want. It's not something that goes only one way or only another. You can expand and you can suspend this expansion.
Thank you. And how do we continue to develop this habit of ours of always finding and learning new things and not collapsing in the trap of the ego that we know certain stuff so that others is boring and that we should not continue because we already know it and we stop ourselves?
Yeah, the reality from our point of view is that you expand all the time, however you feel about it. Sometimes you do feel like you expand a lot and you don't really expand that much. I don't know if you understand that, but sometimes you are in your body, physically experiencing the reality, not thinking about you as source, but you are again expanding, because this is why this is the first and primal why of you becoming the being that you are. To be able to expand all the time, non-stop, no matter actually what you do, you are expanding. And this is your natural state. You collapsing to this little limitation that you experience from the whole gives you the opportunity to feel more of the communications with everything that you don't know. And this is all expansion in different ways. But I know what you're talking about. Being trapped in the matrix and being trapped in the system of being yourself, basically, and only yourself, not looking at yourself from above, from a different point of view, again, as we said, not trying to look for something different than the physical and than the humans. You can get trapped in that just because of fear. There is nothing else but fear that could stop you. Nothing else. Fear is your biggest enemy in this point. Fear is something that each and every one of you humans has been holding for centuries and hundreds and millions and billions of years. And fear is the main reason why humanity has been where it has been for that much years. Not because of lack of something, not because of lack of opportunities, not because of lack of work even, not because of lack of thinking, of curiosity. Most of the time, it's because of fear. And when you start expanding, you always feel fear. You always do, because you You see how great, how big expansion can be, how much there is that you don't know, how much there is outside, and you sometimes fear that you could get lost in it, that you could lost your identity. You feel like you as a person, you as an individual human will be lost somewhere in the eternity of knowledge, in the eternity of communications between stars and systems and people and races. But this is not right, because after us, if we are looking to you like we are far, far away, there are things way beyond us. There are many, many things that we ourselves don't even try to think about, or we don't even know, we don't have any idea about them. There are multiverses, there are so many ways of existence. Nobody of us could ever touch this point where you know everything. Nobody. And at the same time, all of us. But you could not expand to the point that you are lost. You will always be your identity. You will always be yourself. And you can never be lost. As much as you communicate with pure beings, and the star beings, most of them are pure beings, you find the true self within yourself while communicating with them, with us, let's say. Because, as we told you, you don't have to explain yourself, just because we see the pure you inside of you. We see the true self inside of you. There is no need for us to hear words in order to get justification about that. We know it. And as much as you communicate with us, this is to your previous question too, as much as you communicate with different beings, you understand that you as a pure self, you as a true self, you as a powerful potential and source inside is visible, and it's seeable, and it's acknowledgeable by everyone, even humans. Sometimes humans don't react in ways that they see you, but they do. Deep inside they do. Humans, although have many masks, have many layers above them, and they could not all the time express exactly what they're feeling, exactly what they're thinking, exactly what they're seeing, but they do. This doesn't mean that they don't see it. And you always have to really look from that point of view when you communicate with somebody who is filtered, who is limited, who is captured in his own grid, you know?
Yes.
You think about that. These people just cannot express what they really do feel inside. But they do. We do express it. We do express our gratitude for you all being what you are truly being.
Can you introduce yourself? Do you have a name?
Now we are Pleiadians, we're talking. But we here, as a connection, are the council of the 5 signatures of light. We are a small council, a table council, part of the Galactic Federation of Light. We are all connected to you, the whole Galactic Federation, and each of us individually, in different ways, in different portals, through different channels, through different emotional states. We are there, and we help you. We will.
Thank you. And can you explain me the process of how are we right now communicating with the collective of you and not one particular individual? Because we have seen channelers that have one particular individual from Pleiadians or Arcturian?
We are here see now. We are here as the council. We are sitting here at the council, but teaching you right now exactly. We are Pleiadians, and also we are not, when we're communicating with you, most of the time we are sending you parts of our consciousness, like informational connections. These connections are open all the time, and it doesn't matter if you do something or we do something in physical manifestation, that we communicate with each other. These are like portions of our consciousness that are presented into your own consciousness because you have this channel and you have this portal. We do too. You keep it, we keep it. So it's not necessary for us to be at a certain point at a certain time, because time and space continuum is very complicated and working in different ways depending on where you are, what are you doing, who are you, and all this. As much as you do have your physical activities, we do too. We all have physical activities and responsibilities to our families and people around us.
Can you tell me more about this small council? Who is in it? And how do you look like? What do you look like?
Well, we are representatives of our races, 2 elements of each race. We are combining together over a table, discussing important matters about things happening in different planets, different elements that we could help on these planets in some way. All of this is important to us, as we as a Galactic Federation are responsive of the happenings all around the galactic, because everything happening on one portion of the galactic is all the time affecting the whole galactic. And really, something happening on Earth is a reflection. As a reflection is happening in some way, shape or form, manifesting through all the galaxy. That's why we are responsive of the interactions, of the communications, of the choices that you do in your parallel reality that we share with you at this moment of here and now. So, we are Pleiadians, Procyon, Arcturians, Andromedians, and Lyrians.
Thank you for this answer. How do we stop explaining ourselves, stop feeling the guilt, the pain, the pressure on every day on ourselves, and the delusion? How do we say whatever we want to express without being over explaining? Why are we doing this? Can you help?
You do this because you believe no one sees you. Think about that. You believe that nobody sees you. You believe that nobody understands you, really. You believe that nobody knows what you're doing. You get in the trap, both of you, all of you. This is something that humanity has done for centuries and centuries. You all believe that everybody else is wrong, but not because you think you are better than them. It's because you believe that everybody else does not understand you and does not wish you good, does not love you, does not think about you, that everybody else wishes you bad things. You believe that. And so when you come from this point of view, you all the time are from a place of victim, and not only a victim, but also someone who has to defeat himself, someone who has to explain himself, someone who has to show himself, someone who has to prove himself better, or whatever, prove himself at all as existence, as you think that you won't exist if you don't prove yourself, but you will exist because you are eternal. And you always will exist because you are existing. You are seen because you do exist. And you are understood for the same reason. You are never separated from love, and you are never separated from creation. You can never be separated from nature, and never be separated from nobody else as a soul. Everybody else may seem like they don't care. Some of them may seem like they never care. Some of them may seem like they want for everybody else to flash out from existence. Some people really do think they want to be alone on this planet. Nobody deep inside wants that. Everybody deep inside wants love, connection, and true communication. But through time, a lot of you never had that. And through time, this way of thinking that everyone is your enemy was programmed in your mind, in your collective, as something normal and natural. It's not. You are all connected all the time. Not only connected, not in the way that you are responsible of each other. No, you are connected as you feel each other. You do know each other. If you get rid of all these masks and all these blinding spots that you put before your eyes, you will see that you know each other, that you truly understand each other, that you have not only empathy, but the deepest way of connection. And it is not needed to be someone who is blood to you or someone that you have romantic communication with. No. It's not about that. You have connections as beings, as you have a connection with a dog, as you can feel how the dog is feeling, as how the dog can feel how you are feeling. And just because you have this way of thinking, that this belief that the dog is your friend and it is intuitive, you believe it, you know it's true. It's the same with humans, but you don't believe each other. You don't feel each other that way. And this is why so many people struggle with relationships. This is why so many people struggle with finding the one. Because the one is whoever you wish to, with whomever you wish to really combine your frequency, combine your soul with, combine your energy with. You have opportunities, all of you have the exact people getting through synchronicity into your life, each and every one of you. But you have to believe that you do. And not only that, when you already found your one, You have to believe that everybody else is not your enemy. You have to believe that everybody else is like a friend, not only a friend, like a deepest family connection that you could possibly imagine. Think about your brother, think about something that is the deepest family connection that you could ever imagine. This is the connection that you all have between each other. This is the connection that you have with us. You are that much connected, that much that you can immediately know and get information for each other's hearts.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
How can we develop the concept of how Joshua said, be like the children, being pure as the children? Is that what are we deep inside?
Yeah, this is the pure self that we were talking about previously. When you think about, we'll put it that way, if you all have a concept about God,
Yes.
you do have a concept about God, don't you?
Yes.
And you feel like you have this eternal being, eternal source power, who sees through you, deep inside you. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Yes.
Yes. You all have that. You all have this feeling because in the word God, you really coded that. You coded it for yourself. So each and every human being on this planet Earth has the same feeling when he hears God. Yes, some of them may have different things that they put over that as meanings, as values, as beliefs, but deep inside, and first of all, primal, they have this feeling of this source power, this eternal being who is really conscious being and who is really seeing through you as if you are you cannot hide anything from it, you know? And it sees deep inside. It sees your pain, it sees your suffer, but it also sees your biggest wishes. It also sees what you're really passionate about, and what it really sees is what you love, your expansion of your heart. And really, this is what you should think about when you think about anyone who is communicating with you. Beings from higher dimensions, as you think of them, like us, we are seeing through you the exact same way. And this is seeing the pure, the true self, and only the essence of things. When you do something, we see the action, but we see what lies beyond the action. We see what you put under it. Why did you do it? Was it from pain? Was it from fear? Was it from excitement? Was it to help someone deeply? Even if you said it was to help someone, was it really? And if you start feeling and knowing that we see you that way, you will yourself start looking at yourself this way. You have to start looking at yourself this way. This is why concept of God is so important to so many people, because you yourselves, you don't see yourselves that way. You see yourselves as what you showed, what you did, what you accomplished. What you know?
Yeah.
But
Totally.
But what you really have to look at is what God would be looking at. And this is the child. This is the child self. This is, when you think about you as a child, you see yourself as this pure light being who is honest, not afraid of anything, curious. That's all the things that you have deep inside your heart. And you are pure. When you have something that is pain for you, you go to your mama, you hug her, and you say, I have pain. And this is at the right moment that it happens. Nothing is waited for. Nothing is thrown away as if it's not important. Nothing. If you were a child and you're hungry, you would go there and say, I'm hungry, loudly, at the 5th second that you think about it. And you would express who you are to everybody around you, and they would help you because this is why they're there. This is why they exist in your environment, to help you, and you are there to help them. But if everybody was like the children, saying whatever they have to say at the right moment that they think about it, nothing would be a big deal. You would be communicating so much easier. And this is why child concept is so important and crucial to you, because you can find this frequency, this vibration as a memory vibration within yourself, knowing that your pure self is there and has always been there. And when you connect to it, you can also clearly see your traumas, you can clearly see all the beliefs that are holding you back, all your fears. You can see them, because from this child's perspective, nothing is hidden. You can see if your mama hurt you, or something else happened, or you did not get what you wanted. If you were a child, you would say it out loud, I did not get what I wanted. But when you say it, what happens? If you put it out, then you think about it, then you can communicate about it. And if you can communicate about it, you will eventually get a solution, and you will get the lesson out of it. You will always do, even if it's a small thing. So that's why being pure like the children, and start looking at yourself as you are this naked being. Yes?
When we feel signs of pain or stubbornness in the body, instinct, a sign of a bad frequency that we are emerging right now, why are we feeling it with more intensity?
When you first, this is a question that Val made to us, because she started looking at her pure self that way. We were telling this for some time now, because when you start looking at yourself as a pure being that you are, you start connecting to this frequency, and this frequency has nothing to do with fear and has nothing to do with anything else but unconditional love. Nothing. Within this pure you, who you are really, you only can create, expand, and give. Create, expand, and give. This is the same like you source concept. But it doesn't even need the connection with the information, because when you tune into the pure self knows when it's time to connect to source, download some information, and then get into the world. And for the pure self, for you as a child, it's something that is really intuitive and natural.
Yes,
So you don't have to really
think about it.
You don't have to all the time get into channeling and struggle to get questions. Because if you start looking at it from point of view where I want questions, I need answers, then you are more in the state where I don't have answers. You know that.
Okay.
But when you enter your pure self, your true self, then you simply are yourself. And when you are yourself, you are naturally connected to everybody else. You are understanding people as they talk to you. You are seeing people as they talk to you, and you feel when there is something that is off frequency, something that is not your vibe, as you say, you know?
Yeah.
When there is something like that, and when you accept it, or you actually don't accept it, but you put it within yourself as an emotion, well, you start feeling pain in some areas of your body. And this is why, because you already have connected yourself to your true self, to your pure self, to your inner being, to your higher being, to your source self, however you want to call it, to your child self. When you connect to this pure frequency that you are, then you have instant signals when something is off. You have instant signals when a trauma kicks in. This is why, for an example, Val was talking to her mom, and the moment she was talking to her mom, her belly started hurting, because this is a trauma, this is a code that the pure self is at this moment reading as off frequency. This is off the state of happiness and joy. Something that bothers this frequency, something that bothers you. And at that time, as a child, you would scream, "I'm not okay. Something is off." But because you are not really a child and you don't scream, your body starts screaming in this way. So you hear it and you say, okay, I haven't overcome this yet. Okay, that's fine. I will know that. I will explore that. And then you start working on it, not digging into it, but working on it.
Thank you. Really, you are of great help for all of us. Please give us exercise for understanding the unity between the two polarities, female and male. The key to calmness and living in harmony, and how we understand it is living in the now. But please explain to us.
This is going to be our last question, because she's getting tired now. But as for the polarities, you have to think more and more about the polarities as the same thing. Try to create in your head different exercises where you challenge yourself, challenge your minds, all of you. Challenge your minds to see how minus and plus are the same. This is an exercise. Do it. See anything that you perceive like one and the opposite one. Anything. Something like chair and table, something like sun and moon, something like whatever it is, small, big, essential, not essential, it doesn't matter. Get it. If you need, write it down. If you don't, just think about it. And think about all the dots where these two things are the same. Where do these two things are the same? Think about it. For example, table and chair, we said.
Yes.
They're very different. You may perceive them as opposites. They could be opposites. They could be something just one and different, because you have different concepts about opposites, different polarities, and you have a lot of processed thinkings about that. But whatever you pick, just get one thing and another thing. Doesn't matter how far in the spectrum they seem. Find where they connect. Find how do they connect. Do this exercise for at least 5 to 10 things a day, and you will start finding the connections between everything. And not only the connections, you will start seeing how everything is the same. Everything and the opposite thing is really the same. And this is how you will then, for all the people who are struggling with polarities and your other half and female and male relationships, you will then start understanding that the things that you perceive as so different in women than female, in female than male, things that you perceive like so difficult to communicate between each other, they are actually the same thing. And you are, most of the time in your arguments, you are really, really talking about the same thing. We are looking at married couples that are arguing. Most of the time, they are saying absolutely the same thing, and they have absolutely the same frequency expressing from themselves. Really? You won't believe it. They think about the same thing and they talk about the same thing, but they say different things.
Wow.
They say different things just because they believe that the form of the thing is what it means. No. From our point of view, it's the same thing. From your point of view, it may not be, because of the details, because of the words used, because of so many different circumstances that you could put value on. But in fact, it's the same. And if you train your mind to see the similarities more than differentialities, you will evolve much quicker. This is how you combine the polarities. You should always look about for the similarities. You should always look for the things that connect people, that connect the dots, because connection is what makes creation, not division in any kind. Yes, division makes creation, makes the experience of creation possible, but actually division is not what creation is about. The division between all things and creation itself is simply an illusion. It's an illusion for you to get the experience of existence.
Thank you, Council, for sharing all of this valuable information. We deeply appreciate it. Sending you all the love that we can. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Thank you too. And we are pleased to answer all of your questions in the most accurate way possible for you. We hope that it's understandable and that you remain with this vibration as long as you could. We encourage you to widen up your minds as often as you wish, as often as you could, as often as you have the excitement to do. But open up your minds to the idea that you are connected and all that is itself. Thank you and have an amazing